Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage. Welcome to episode 4 of Europa Universalis IV. As Connaught attempting an Irish exodus, we have just recently agreed to go to war with England against both Scotland and France, which is something that I will probably mainly be keeping out of. Let's go ahead and just slow the game speed down here before things get incredibly messy. It does look like we've just won a naval battle somewhere. I'm not too sure whose navy that was against. Obviously, England are going to have massive naval superiority here anyway. We could always move our troops in and try and siege somewhere out. Actually, land movement is blocked by a hostile fort. We could go over here and try and help siege Ayrshire out. Now, unfortunately, England actually wants to take Ayrshire, so trying to take it for myself would probably be a really stupid idea. But nonetheless, we can actually move in here and start to siege the province out. Remember, the way that things work now in Cossacks is each individual nation gets a certain amount of war participation. And that war participation will actually earn you the right to take certain things in the peace deal. So, for example, if you contribute to 50% of the war score in a war and the war leader takes war reparations, you get 50% of the war reparations. So we can have the nobility lose some loyalty, or we can gain a free stability, and the nobility gains 5 loyalty. Well, not too bothered about the 10 ducats. We're still making money even at full army maintenance. Gaining loyalty is not a bad thing. Gaining stability is a fantastic thing. So what does that put the estates on? They're at 60% now, which reduces our land maintenance modifier. That's fantastic. We just want to make sure the clergy don't get too much influence. Influence is a bad thing. Ayrshire has come under the occupation of Connaught. That is fine. So I could flip that over to England, and I probably will. Now, England can't really do anything until they've managed to take out this fort. So we are going to go up to speed 3 right here. Portugal are landing troops as well. I don't think we have... Well, France are trying to grab stuff down here. They're trying to take England's cause. That's fine. We don't mind that too much. I don't mind sieging stuff out, as long as we're not losing terrible amounts of money. Now, how are Portugal managing to move there when there's a fort? You see, forts still don't... I suppose they were using boats. Forts still don't quite work the way you would expect them to. It's very, very strange. We've actually just lost a battle there. Did we just lose our entire navy? We did not, but I think we might be going home at war because France's navy's on the prowl and I don't really want to have to deal with them if at all possible. I think Portugal and England are going to have this war licked, to be quite honest. It's like Scotland are trying to retreat. They've got quite a few men there. We'll go ahead and assign a leader. We'll assign the crappy general. I might have even considered trying to chase Scotland's army down, but while they've still got control of all of these provinces, it does make life a little difficult. Well, while they've still got that fort there, it's making life very difficult. We do still have a free diplomat. Not too sure what we're going to do with him. I don't think anyone is sufficiently far ahead enough in technology for us to bother trying to spy on them. Plus, we'd need espionage ideas for that anyway, so that doesn't make a lot of difference. Yeah, it's like Portugal are just happily walking through, even though this thing's here, and I can't walk through because my movement is being blocked by a hostile fort. So how come they're moving through? Doesn't really make sense. Okay, let's go back into our own land so that we are not suffering attrition. And we'll go ahead and flip this over to England because I don't really want it anyway. And they've just instantly flipped it over to Leinster for some strange reason. Fine. I suppose Leinster is their vassal, so they'll probably just give it to Leinster. So this might be the end of Scotland. Scotland's still got a navy floating around. In fact, we could probably take them out. What do they have there? They have 5 lights. We could go ahead and potentially win that battle. It will be a naval battle. Hopefully we don't lose all of our ships. We don't have a leader here, so it makes life a little bit difficult. It does give us war score contribution. There's one of their ships down. They have a leader there as well. There's 2 down. And, well, we didn't manage to sink their navy. At the same time, though, we did win and we didn't lose anything. So that is really good. We are losing money at the moment, which is not a surprise because we don't actually have our trade fleet out at the moment. Looks like England are having some problem with some Lollard heretics. That's bad for them, especially as they're also being smashed around a little bit by France down here in their overseas cause, but we'll see what they manage to do about that. I'm sure it won't take them too long to take out Scotland's navy. I don't think I'm going to manage to get around there in time to assist with that one, but I'll try. No, not a chance. So where's the rest of Scotland's navy? Did they sink it or did they merge up with the rest of those? They probably merged up. Still only at 17% war score, which is quite weird. I mean, Scotland is fully occupied. I guess they've got to deal with France, though. That's going to be the problem. We're no longer getting subsidies from England. Right, what we need to do here, then, because we're going to have problems otherwise, is we need to reduce our army maintenance. Because we're not actually fighting at the moment. We really need to get the navy back out and doing stuff. I'm not too sure what is happening with France's navy. It could have been the Scottish navy that attacked us. Let's try once again going and protecting trade in the North Sea. Oh, we don't want to go home at war. That defeats the object. Hopefully we won't lose any ships. I'm not too sure where France's navy is. France does have a heavy and 2 lights down there. But they're being blockaded in by 2 of England's heavy, so that is fine. So what have we got here? Connaught gets supporting the Florentine school for 40 years, quite a long time. Gives us extra yearly prestige, but we'd lose some money. We'd lose some diplo and some admin. Oh yeah, we're doing the papal quest, aren't we? Or we can lose 5 prestige. Getting the yearly prestige would be nice. We'll go for it anyway. I know we don't have the mission to get it, but we'll still go for it. We've almost finished our mission to increase relations with the Pope, so that's going to be a good thing for us. We have this extra ship here, which can go and join up with the North Sea trade fleet. So we are still losing money, which is unfortunate. Obviously, England aren't going to give us subsidies at the moment. They have dealt with their heretic problem. The question is now, what are England actually going to do? Are they going to be able to move over to France and do anything interesting? Yeah, we've got that. Yearly papal influence. Fantastic. I guess we can leave you there for the time being. There's no instant reason to bring you back. I guess we've got no missions to choose from. Yeah, there's actually no missions to choose from at all. We probably will want to form the Irish nation at some point. I don't know whether or not we want to do that. I'm not sure if there's any real benefit to doing it, apart from giving us some autonomy change. Not really worth it. Not too sure how that would affect the cause as well. It might make it a little bit more difficult giving stuff away. And I think we actually have to have all of the provinces in order to be able to do that anyway. Yeah, we actually have to have all of the provinces. And Admin Tech 10. By the time we get to Admin Tech 10, I'm very much hoping that we will already be over in the New World. So we'll have to see how that goes. We are still losing money, even with positive stability. Provincial unrest is popping up in Tyrone. Let's go ahead and put the army in there. So their autonomy is dropping. The unrest is very, very low. And the separatism is burning off. I think it's mostly being caused by the war exhaustion. Putting the guys there, that's dealt with that problem. Doesn't look like we have too much to worry about from the ships at the moment. I think the only navy that could possibly harass us is France. They're being blockaded by Navarra, Portugal and England. So definitely got superiority over here. England are already taking back their own cause. France is still sieging out down here slightly. Portugal's also sieging Bern. It certainly seems like the forts are more useful now than they were in the Art of War. They definitely have done something to change the way that they work, but they're still quite perplexing sometimes when you see some units can move through them and some can't. It doesn't always make a lot of sense. England are glitching out up here. They don't know whether or not they actually want to try and land this army or not, so we can see they've still got derpy AI problems. He's actually taking attrition because he can't decide whether or not he wants to land. We can lose a stability, and the nobility loses loyalty, or we can give them some money. Well, guess we'll just have to give them some money now. We're very, very short on cash. May well have to fire that advisor. If we put our army maintenance right down, we still wouldn't be making any money. If we reduced inflation, we'd be wasting admin points, which I don't really want to have to do. I mean, the inflation... Yeah, let's go and do it. Let's reduce the inflation. I did click on it. There we go. We are actually now making money. It's a tiny, insignificant amount, but at least we're not losing money. We have just spent quite a bit of our admin points. Bear in mind, though, we only need enough admin points just to get the next tech level. We still need enough Diplo points to be able to get the second idea within the idea group, because we need to be able to grab colonial ventures, and having colonists is one thing, but we still need to find the new world, so we need quests for the new world. So we need to have enough Diplo points saved up to be able to grab quests for the new world anyway, and then enough Diplo points on top of that to be able to hire an explorer. So we are going to have to wait a little while before we can do anything there. England still doing nothing apart from gaining attrition. I mean, what is going on here? Either land them or don't. So, yeah, the game still has some AI issues. Looks like Portugal... Wow, that was France attacking Portugal in the mountains, and France still won. Admittedly, they did seem to have higher numbers, but Portugal just got absolutely wrecked there. Let's recall our diplomat from the Papal States. Looks like Provence is actually taking a bit of land from Brittany there. Is there anybody still worth sucking up to? Let's make sure we do keep sucking up to England. We've probably got quite high. Improved relations is at 79. I mean, I know we're already capped. We are at 200 relations, but continuing to suck up with them is not a bad idea. The war score is currently at 25%. Now, if we actually have a look here, we should be able to see what our contribution is. So if we go and have a look, apparently we've got 0 war score. We haven't contributed at all. I'm sure I sieged out one of the provinces, but we didn't actually get involved in any battles. So there's not really an awful lot that we can do. England may give us something in the peace deal. It's very unlikely we'll get anything from them, because I should have hung on to that, but that's the actual war goal. So hanging on to that may not have been a particularly good idea. What we could do, I guess, is we could go and put our troops in somewhere that has a full loot bar, and we could actually go and try and loot. Because England's not up here looting, so why shouldn't we? So if we go up here and start looting, armies will gain 0.9 loot next month. So yeah, let's go around and loot these provinces. Some of them haven't been looted. Oh, sorry, some of them have been looted. Their loot bar is completely empty. But quite a lot of these provinces have still got loot in them. That one doesn't. Well, that's fine. We don't want to go out to the Western Isles anyway, but we could loot the Highlands slightly. That's only got 4 in there. Aberdeenshire's got 10. So there's potentially some ducats here we could steal. We've got the men on low maintenance, so there we go. Look, we just made 0.9 ducats. It'll help us out for a little bit. It's still taking a long time with this. Obviously, it's one of England's own forts, and they're having to sort of re-siege it. I wonder if this is what the issue is with this guy that's stuck, because that province, even though it's an English province, technically is under the zone of control from this fort, which is currently controlled by France. And it's also under the control of this one, which is currently Paris. No, they're still derping with that stack. They're not landing it for whatever reason. Good game, England. Okay, so now the English army has moved into Paris. If they can actually manage to siege Paris out, that'll be very good, because that'll really swing the tide of the war score over. France have control of Gascogne, but that isn't going to make a lot of difference, because it's worth next to no war score, because it doesn't have a fort in it. Looks like the Portuguese have rallied, and they're trying to take Bern again. I think in order to beat them, France would actually have to break this siege. Although France is more likely to complete this siege before Portugal is, so we'll have to see how that goes. But I guess while France's armies are down here just scratching their arses, they're not up here dealing with the English army that is sieging out Paris. I really wish England would sort that army out there. They've already lost 600 men by being stuck on the boats and not actually able to land. What I find strange as well is Co is their own province. Why don't they just dock? They could just literally put their ship in port and land the men instantly. I have no idea what they're up to. So we shall carry on making sure that we can loot these provinces. There is still a little bit of loot left in here. We can loot this for a couple more months before we have to move into the next province. Nobility randomly loses 10 influence. That's fine. It's not loyalty, it's just influence. What we really need, though, is for the clergy to lose a little bit of influence. We've stopped trying to improve relations with England. Okay, that's fine. There's not an awful lot we can do. Does anybody else like us? Burgundy doesn't like us. They don't dislike us either. But let's go ahead and improve relations with Burgundy because, well, we don't really have an awful lot else to do. We could go ahead and improve our relations with Provence as well. So it looks like Paris might fall. Oh, no. Oh, wow, that was unlucky. They actually got French pretender rebels spawned right in Paris on top of England's army. That was really, really unfortunate. However, England did win that battle, so the siege progress does continue. France have now managed to siege out Le Bourg. Now, they're going straight back up towards Paris. Looks like Portugal might actually siege out Bern, which would be good. England have now only got 1.7k troops there now. I'm sure they didn't all die from attrition unless they've lost some boats. I'm not too sure what's going on there. Now, they finally managed to land them. Now, the question is, yeah, France actually moved their army around the outside. I thought France might have ended up having to deal with the rebels, but it doesn't look like that's the case. England actually winning that battle quite significantly. Yeah, England actually won that. France's army has been routed. Gain 3 inflation or lose 1 stability. Either of them are bad, but we are making some money at the moment, so let's just take the inflation. Let's also make sure that we move these guys and put them in Aberdeenshire because they've completely looted out this province now. Some of them will start to recover. As you can see, there's actually loot down here in Lothain. We could go ahead and just split the army up and move some of them down there. Some of the loot bars are actually quite small, but there's definitely stuff down here we can loot, so let's keep looting while we have the opportunity. The amount that you can loot per month is based on the number of men you have. So splitting my men up over multiple provinces won't loot any quicker. It just means I can loot 2 provinces at the same time with sort of half efficiency. England have actually managed to take Paris, although they're now fighting against the rebels. They did manage to defeat the rebels, and they're now actually they followed them. They didn't actually manage to kill them, but I'm not too sure what England are trying to do, whether they're trying to chase down the French army or whether they intend to come back down here and try to liberate their own provinces. I don't actually know where the French army went, but the chances are they're just going to come back and try and unsiege Paris. Yeah, there we go. There's the French army coming back. England are actually being attacked by the French army now. No? Where did the French army go? Yeah, the French army are actually attacking England. That might have been England's downfall there. That might have been their mistake. I don't know why they moved into Berry. They should have just sat in Paris and left the rebels alone. Of course, if France want to take Paris back, they are going to have to fight the rebels as well. They will most certainly defeat the rebels, but it will weaken France significantly. The war score's at 72%. The war is being fought over a single Scottish province. England should just end the war. They have enough war score to take what they need. If Portugal can unsiege Le Bourg before France can unsiege Paris, then it might be enough to get the war score. There we go. It's actually happened. Let's have a look and see what has changed. So, on the following terms, France will cede Alcyon to England, so that is up here. So England's actually gained a province from France. Awesome. France will pay 84 ducats to England and its allies. Connaught will get 6 of this amount, which will result in more inflation. So as you can see, we obviously did 6% of the work in that war, and because we did 6% of the work, we get 6% of the... well, no, that can't be right, because we're getting 6 of 84. So whatever the percentage is of 84, I suppose 10% would be 8.4, so maybe 9%. So we did 9% of the work. We sieged a province, we sunk some armies, sunk some navies, so we get a little bit of the money. England didn't even have a CB. Wow. Total of 4 prestige is divided by England and its allies, so we gain 0.3. And England will gain 8 power projection and France will lose 8. Okay, so not an awful lot really happened. The best bit was... Oh no, he just sieged out France. He just pieced out France. So he's separate pieced France. He hasn't yet separate pieced Scotland. So we may still get some more stuff from them. But we'll have a look at that in the next video and see how this piece ends up. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you are still enjoying EU4 and my attempt for the Irish Exodus. I'll see you guys next time. Until then, goodbye for now.